Right. Good morning, team. Hope everyone's doing well today. Just going to wait for everyone to come online. See how we're going. Right, just going to change our angle slightly. Make sure we get everything in pretty well. There it is. Nice. Right. Hello, everyone. Oh, listen to that. It's been a bit of dust created in my garage this last week. I'm just going to check this last week. I'm just going to check audio. Audio's good. It just came off my audio there for a second. It just came off my audio there. Oh, there it is. Sorry about the reverb. I just got to make sure. We've had a couple of occasions every now and again when things go a little bit astray. But good, we're here today. We're good. We're ready to go. Okay. I'm not sure how everyone runs this. Okay. I'd love to know. It'd be really nice to see some feedback. Is it exciting looking at that, or is it a little bit of trepidation going, oh man, what's he got in store for us today? Because we've never really had any sort of structure with what we do. I'm just like, you know what? I wake up this morning, I'm going to create something, which is pretty good because ultimately, you know, you can structure workouts as part of a program, like on a daily or weekly basis, depending on what you're going to do. But unless we get everybody's like, hey, this is what we're doing. I like doing Sundays as a light row or as fast stuff. I just sort of mix it up a bit, you know, and some people are like, you know what, I'll do this tomorrow, not feeling it today, got to go to church, whatever it might be, or hungover from the night before, one or the other. And so really it's just about making things up, okay? And so today I was just thinking we're going to do some little bit shorter pieces than we sort of have done. And the last one's going to really kick you in the ass, okay? And I think that'll be really good because it's not a long session, to be fair, okay? But we'll start off reasonably slow, just getting good rhythm, good tempo, good structure on the stroke, talking about what we're trying to do, really going through a bit of that technical process. We start getting up into the middle ranges, sort of fourth, fifth piece, okay? The sixth piece is actually going to start quite low. So we would have been building up to like the fifth piece, which will be a 2-1-1, 24, 26, 28. So that's really going to be quite high. But then we actually go to a 1 minute changes and we go 22, 24, 26, 28. So you'll be like, okay, it's pretty tough. But then the last one is our kicker, okay? It's 1 minute changes, 28, 30, 32, 34, okay? Really hope, because I know we've had good comments on here and I see it a lot online, people just saying, look, I cannot get my rating up, really struggle, okay? Rating is really difficult if we're not doing a lot of stuff before it to start trying to get that feeling. I will say that before we do that last piece, if people do feel like they can't get that rating up, we'll take the drag factor down a little bit, which will really help with a little bit of the movement. But ultimately, we're just going to try and, especially in that last part, just really get you some good tools around when you go up to that sort of high rating around that sort of 32, 34. It's not really, if you're trying to keep length and you're trying to keep full swing, all this sort of stuff, it is really difficult to be able to do that at that rating. Now you can shorten up, keep it a little bit of a shorter stroke and go back and forth, but we're still trying to create as much power and momentum and as much speed as possible, okay? See it a lot, you know, people doing long rows and their ratings like 34, 36, and I'm like, man, you not very good splits, but it's just zipping backwards and forwards, not a lot of movement and stuff like that. So ultimately it's about getting some rating, but doing it functionally and in really good movement. Okay, so that's about all. Looks like we've got a good crew here. Let's finish my coffee, and then we'll just get into our warm-up and rip into it, okay? Who doesn't love a good espresso in the morning? Okay, so same as we always do, just warm up how you feel fit for you. As I say, I'm always the type of person that wants to do, just going to start some heart rate. I just enjoy just opening things out, okay? Especially from around the back, just starting to get the flow, okay? Really feeling this speed in, speed out, because that's ultimately, once we get up around this high rating stuff, our high rating tends to be from what happens through this part of the stroke, okay? Not too much, like a little bit around the front, but ultimately everything around this finish dictates our speed and our rating, okay? And like sort of the elastic part of the stroke. So this is just a really great, like this is such a good exercise for getting our body momentum working from back at this 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock position, you know, and trying to start this momentum switch coming forward with our bodies. It's a really, really good one I recommend everybody starts to do. And you'll start to notice if you've got really tight hamstrings that the legs will be wanting to pop up even before the body starts getting sort of through this 12 o'clock position, through the vertical, okay? And if that's the case, think about where your feet are, okay? And even in today's session, if you've been working on, you know what, I want to feel like I'm picking it up a little bit better at the catch, in between a couple of these pieces somewhere, maybe just drop your feet one, or if you feel like you're getting right up over top of it, then maybe pop them up one, okay? We've got 80 seconds in between. There'll be a good amount of time to be able to make a couple of adjustments. And that's it. People should, like everybody should just be keep continuing to work on finding the comfort for you, okay? So let's keep this warm up going a little bit longer. Getting a range of motion. Ultimately, that's the goal, range of motion. Blood starting to pump around the body. Heart starting to do some work for us. Okay. Because they're not long pieces today, we've sort of got 4 minutes. We'll find that every sector will knock it down pretty quick. So we'll be able to focus on things quite well in between each one. Okay. Another minute or so at this. Half a minute, 45 seconds. So just start to feel a little bit more pressure now. Push it on. Okay, nice long arms. Shake it out of the shoulders, staying loose. Feel that hang. Nice and flat draw. Okay, really good. Feel that. Feel that initiation on the feet as we push. But feel that body coming through once the legs are down through that halfway. Okay, remember the legs are driving the body. They do have to create the force off the front, but we've also got to make sure that they are driving our body right to the finish. Okay, so that'll be something we talk about a little bit on the way. As with everything else, I'm just going to go through all the bits and pieces around trying to get comfortable, trying to be relaxed, trying to pick up our flywheel. Okay, I might get quite puffed today because I really just want to go through and just talk about a lot of things. We always get a lot of questions on different forums and bits and pieces. So just going to try and cover off as much as we can today while we do it, okay? It's very humid here today. I can see myself coming into a sweat box by the end of this. Okay, so here we go. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Okay. We'll get ready to set up our machine. As always, we're going to the intervals, select workout, new workout, intervals, time. Okay, take the time up to 4 minutes. And then that rest time is going to be 1 minute and 20 seconds. Okay? Why not a minute? Why not 1 minute 30? You're lucky. I was going to do 70 seconds. But no rhyme or reason. I just thought maybe a little bit longer than a minute, slightly less than 1.5 minutes. Okay? So we should be in a little bit of a nice area, just only because we're probably going to need a little bit more time up through the sort of 4th, 5th, 6th before we hit the last one. Okay, so there we are. Should be ready to go. Give you a second. Okay. I've only got to strap my feet in and we're away. So let's press the tick button. Okay. Let's load up and let's get into it. Okay. First one's going to be real easy. Straight on our nice, easy rhythm. Our aerobic bread and butter 20 to 22. Okay, so here we go. All good? Righto. Let's sit ready. Okay, attention. Go. Okay, just start off nice and long strokes. Just working into this metronomic rhythm. Okay, let's work on our sequencing to start. Don't worry too much about our power yet. We'll develop that. Okay, we'll feel how long our push is. And what I mean by that is as we drive, we want to feel the legs having continuous pressure right through until they get to the end, till they're pretty much flat. Okay, and at the same time we have that hang, we feel the body's coming through. And that's really one of the big keys, is if our legs are pushing all the way, it'll really help tie in where our back starts to drive, which is coming through the middle of the stroke. And remember, the swing of our bodies wants to be one motion through there. Okay? If we take a bit too much at the catch, like that, and then we try and give it again at the finish, we get a little bit disjointed. Okay? And that's why I talk about sitting back through the stroke. Okay, not stopping, but just feeling that motion of we're sitting back. So here we go. Change it up to, remember, free the hands up. Now, it's just a little bit more speed in the overall stroke. You just move that little bit quicker. Around the back, coming into the front. Now drive, just slightly a little bit quicker as well. Okay, good. So let's just focus our hang now. Remember, it's under the armpits, out of the shoulders, nothing up into the ears. Okay. Our hands, just holding on to the pressure, arms, okay, without too much tension. Remember the chain, be nice and flat, let it naturally Go forward. Really good. Okay, feel that push, both feet again. As we leave the arms out long, we just hang away. Okay, good. Feel the core, just a little bit around the catch as we take the pressure on the feet. And we're driven back. Nice. Okay, good. Easy speed, continuous rhythm. Stay nice and relaxed. Okay, good. So the other thing about today, depending, we're plus or minus however many meters. These aren't far off 1,000 meters. Okay, some of us will be a little bit slower. Some of us will be a bit faster, okay? But ultimately, we're using time so we can all do it together, okay? And it's good because ultimately, you know, 2 minutes came up really quickly, and then we've got to think about it, get straight back into what we're doing at a little bit more of a higher intensity. But just remember, every time we go up in rate, it just means that every part of the stroke is 5% quicker. This is 5% quicker. This is 5% quicker. This is 5% quicker. That's all it is. Okay. Biggest thing we've got to remember is we don't go right. We're adding more power because we've got to go up in rate. Just remember, if you move quicker, the machine's going to give you the speed for it. Okay, here we go. 22, 24. Split down the middle. There we go. Yep. Okay, so just back onto that rhythm we were just at. Let's just have a look. Everyone down the line of the chain, nice and flat. See where it is in the housing. Keep it there. Okay, we want to try and eliminate as much drop or anything as we can, because ultimately when we take the pressure here, we want it to be nice and flat through the muscles. Okay, if we come down and we have to do like a little bit of an upward movement or a downward movement, we're just not going to be able to get the best pickup. Okay. So hang off that as we roll in. Let's start feeling this compression as we come forward with the seat. Feel it come underneath us. Feel a little bit of stretch in the calves and the ankles. Okay, and just let it naturally come to us. Okay, let the chain draw us forward. Once we go back on the slide, just naturally, if we have to feel like we're pulling ourselves to get up underneath, we might need to change our setup. Okay, remember that now. Let's have a focus. Feel this chain drawing us forward. Around the finish. Feel it. Be light in the fingers. Okay, feel that resistance just trying to pull us back to the catch. Nice. Okay. So think about those things as we get ready to change up. Here we go. Move quicker. Now. Hand speed. Just like that. We've got more rate. We're going quicker. And we haven't felt like we've had to put any more power in. Okay, naturally, yes. But not on purpose. Now we just keep it moving. Flow the hands. Feel that take back. Handles drawing us forward. Nice. Okay, nice long arms again. Remember, feel it under the lats. Feel that hang. Hanging off the weights, hanging off the chin-up bar. Feel that motion. Okay, good. Natural compression with our recovery. Coming forward. Let's start thinking a little bit about this change in direction. As we get to that compression, okay, we start feeling the load on the toes. We start pushing away with the long arms. Good. Remember, let the feet just naturally come up a little bit off the heels. And as we push back, we'll go back onto the whole foot and we'll be able to drive nice and flat. Good. Good rhythm. Good focus. Okay, great piece. Okay, nice and easy. Heart rate's coming. But at the same time, we've always got to try and find this equilibrium where we know we're going to be working, but we're also trying as much as possible to let our body momentum, the machine momentum, okay, that rhythm, take some of that effort away from us. The more we hang through here, the more we get this through here that the back starts coming in. All of that is really just helping us be as efficient as possible, okay? And everything from here back to here, we're trying to make as easy, as relaxed, as effortless as possible, okay? And that's what we'll get to work on this time, because we're just going to do 4 minutes straight out at 24. Okay, so we're going to be upbeat a little bit. We're going to get into this rhythm. We're going to swing back and forward, and we're just really going to zone into holding this rhythm for the entire piece. Okay, so here we go. Start firming and go. Okay, so right now, breathe into it. Remember, let's find our rhythm. Find our momentum. We'll worry about our speeds in a second. Okay, hang off the front. Remember, armpit hang. Here we go. Feel the feet. Feel that relationship between the feet, the hands, and the knees, okay? Think about that for a second. As the feet push, I feel the weight in the hands. The knees start going down at about the same rate that the handle's moving. Okay, feel the seat at the same time. Okay, we don't want to feel the seat shoot and the handle be left behind like that, okay? And ultimately neither the same, where the handle feels fast and the seat feels slow. Okay, even if you want to close your eyes for a sec, feel this handle, feel the seat. Don't worry a little bit about the rhythm. Okay, good. Remember, always handles moving around the back. Momentum. It's good. Nice. Remember, loose. Let that handle come to us. Brush the body. Flow away. That's it. Good. We don't need to be tight and tense at the finish. The elbows, just the raw pass with the body momentum. Good. That's it. It's nice. Good. Okay, keep focusing that. Let's just focus our breathing. Stay loose. Shouldn't have any tension in the face or the shoulders. Flowing with our machine. Good. Holding that rate. Holding the speed. Loose. Tap it along. Picking up the flywheel around the front. Here we go. Feel it as we come in. We're not trying to feel full power off the front. Trying to feel the weight. Accelerate it through the middle of the dry. Good. That's it. Good. Feel the flow. Nice. Really good speed. Good movement. That's it. Okay, loosen the feet. Remember, we get a little bit of a pull, then we transfer the weight as we come into the front. Nice. There it is. Really good. Okay, good management all the way through this piece. Been good. Okay, nice. So really good flow, good rhythm. Okay, feeling that hang. Make sure we don't stop. Breathe it out here. Okay. Now, for anybody that wants to, and anybody that hasn't done it before, or there might be a few out there, I want you to hit the second button down on the right-hand side of your monitor, okay? Now it's going to pull up a graph. We'll just do it for this piece, okay? You can go back to your, well, if you press the top one again, it'll go back to doing what you were used to, okay? But what this is going to show us is this is going to show us our force curve. Now, I've talked about it a little bit on stream, off stream. Okay, ideally, don't focus on it too much. Just keep it in the back of your mind. We want to see a nice smooth curve, okay? If the peak of it is left of center, means we're doing most of our peak work before the front half of the stroke. And if it's on the right of the curve, it means it's the other side. So here we go now, 24, 26, 2 minutes at each. So let's just focus our rate and stuff first. Let's get onto our rhythm. Okay, the force graph is a really good tool to try and look at our force curve right now. We just want it to be smooth. Okay, we don't want it to be too jagged. If it's jagged, we're slightly missing our points during the sequence. Okay, and if our peak is pretty much center, it means that halfway through the drive, we've got our back coming through as well, which means that that's where our peak force has been applied. Now, if it's right of that curve, right of that center, means we're giving too much at the finish, which potentially is we haven't used the back early enough through the drive. And if it's left of center, then ultimately it means we're doing a little bit too much here, okay, from the catch. So just look at it. We're only using as an example in this piece. One thing I'll say, just try and make that line nice and dark, nice and smooth, as much as possible, without too many jagged points in it. Okay, and that means that we're doing one good sequent drive right through the stroke, just like that, okay? So let's keep focusing on our rhythm. We're about to go up to 26. So let's just focus now Let's move our hands up to 26. Go. And remember, just moving the speed with the hands. Feel the hang. Feel the push. Okay, good. Long arms. Nice. Okay, both feet. Let's come forward. Up onto the feet. Compress. Change direction and push away. Nice. Really good. Nice press. Good. That's it. And we're keeping our movement going really well. Flat draw. Remember, it's just one push. Body comes through. Finishing together. Nice. Good hang. Remember, big muscles sort of initiate. Little hanging muscles. They're holding on. Only with resisted tension and not trying to make it feel tense. Okay, good. Slow. Open the mouth. Breathe it in. All the way. Okay, good. So, just wanted to put that out there for anybody that wants to use that. It's a really good tool. Every now and again, okay? Don't have to look at it religiously. I don't think looking at things like that religiously are going to help, because then you focus too much on stroke to stroke, where we're not trying to change stroke to stroke. We're trying to change or get better row to row. Okay, if we focus every stroke and go, oh shit, this one, oh no, I've got to do this next one, we lose our rhythm when we lose our focus. So just turning it on, so you can go back. If you press that top button, okay, it'll take you back to what you're normally looking at. And ultimately, every now and again, using that just gives you an idea. Okay, the big thing that it would be nice if it gave us like a graph of best fit. So if we did a time, and then it would show you what that graph is. But it's really just to give you an idea of where your peak force is, how you're producing the stroke, and where you could possibly make a few changes, okay? So here we go. This one's 2 minutes at 24, one at 26, one at 28. Here we go, moving in. Now, okay, let's find this 24 rhythm. Start it easily. And what I mentioned before at the end of that last piece was that, yes, we do have tension in the arms when we're hanging, okay? Just from this, it's from the resisted tension. It's not tension from, I've got to be tight and hold on. So think about that as well. Yes, you will feel it, but it's meant to be resisted rather than an actual tension itself. Okay, and that's through the arms, the armpits, the shoulders, okay? Preferably just underneath the traps, into the lower back, even on the feet, the calves. So good, get this flow. Just keep moving these hands. Remember, metronomic. Feel the flow. Round the back. Okay, let's have a self check again. Hands away. Have a look. Just even watch yourself, okay? Look down. Where's the draw? Am I brushing the body? Letting the resistance take the hands away. Is the chain flat all the way? Okay, good. So next two changes, remember we're just looking for more movement speed, which is going to equal more speed on here. Here we go. Freeing it up. Now, 26. See, just like that, we've just changed rating and our speeds come with it. Okay, good. Nice. Good momentum. Good rhythm. Sitting back through the stroke as we push. Hang under the armpits. Body weight. Use it. Nice and smooth. Sequence. Okay, up two. Here we go. Now, remember, hands. Move them around. Let that chain draw us forward. There. Good. Good hand speed. Okay, breathe into it. Stay relaxed and loose. Put this into our memory bank. Hands away. Feel ourselves getting drawn forward. So feel the leg speed on the drive. It's not heavy. It's connected to the core. And there's the push. Good. Okay, all the way. Nice. Okay, breathe into it. Let's keep rowing. Okay, nice. So we've done some really good work here, okay? Finding that easy speed, feeling that rhythm, as we're always doing. Okay, and as this ratings come up, remember it's just all about our movement, how easy and free we can be, how loose. Okay, just letting that handle go. So as we get up in the rates, we'll think about it here because we're going to have to transfer it when we get up into the high one for our last piece. Okay, we start reasonably low here. We're only on 22. Should feel really easy. Let's really focus on this. Okay, what's happening here? Okay, you are going to get a little bit of pull on the feet, but you're using the core, the handles, and then it's transferred through here and it's coming up onto the catch. Because ultimately, when we get up into that high rate, this is where it's going to save us. This is where it's going to happen. Okay, so let's start firming. Here we go. 1 minute changes, 22. Now, okay, this should feel quite pedestrian, really smooth and long. Okay, so this is us finding our sequence, having plenty of time to feel the length of the drive, the time of the drive. Okay, nice long arms with me. Push away from the handles. Remember, leave them there and push. Okay, they come to us with our body speed from there. There's no pull. It's all carrying the weight that we've resisted and held through there. Okay, nice. Breathe into it. So here we go, up to 24. Now, how do we do it? We do it just like that. We just move quicker. Okay, and our speeds come with it. We've got good numbers. Now we hold this new momentum and we relax into it. Here it is. Breathe. Feel when we push. Feel when we tense. And then relax on the recovery. Work, rest. Work, rest. Okay, good. Nice. Okay, and we're holding this momentum. We're holding our speed. We're doing it easy. So, same again. Here we go. Up 2. Now, just like that, moving quicker. Speed just got faster. Keep hanging. Feel this chain draw us forward, around the back. That's it. Good. Good hang. Breathe. Okay, let's focus this compression. Feel it as we come forward. Push away. Close feet. Feel the body come through. Nice. Okay, here we go. Up 2. Now, remember, just move quicker again. That's it. Stay loose. Flat wrists. Flat draw. Switch off. There, just let it take us forward. Good. Long hang. Body's opening through the middle. Feel it. Legs pushing everything back. Good. All while staying out of the shoulders. Not grabbing. Okay, excellent work. Breathe all the way. Okay, nice. So here's the kicker. Breathe into it. Don't stop. We're gonna do a pretty good, solid piece here, okay? Let's breathe, let's get our composure. Okay, here's how this is gonna roll. We're gonna move out, get on that same rhythm we just finished up on here, okay? We're gonna give it 20 seconds to find our momentum, our hand speed, our leg speed. And then once we get that, we're gonna focus on our application, which is, okay, am I giving it enough push? Have I got that compression, okay? Yep, that's good, that's sustainable. Let's find that sustainable speed. And then as we increase, we go 30, 32, 34, everything's moving here, leg drive's getting quicker, okay? Now, if you think you can't hit that, change your drag down half a number, okay? Do it now, and let's start building into it. Pull your feet tight, here we go. Moving in. Now. Okay, so here, find our rhythm. We'll do a length check shortly. 28. Okay, if you come with me, I'm definitely going to be able to hit ratings. So let's focus hands now, around the back. Feel that momentum. Good. Drawing us back to the front. You don't need to be stepped fully off the back. Just get the hands away. Start getting them out over the knees. It's pretty hard at high rate. Okay, breathe into it. Open the mouth. Here we go, up 2. Freedom of speed. Now, good. Feel the hang. Feel the leg drive. Remember, don't overreach at the catch. Naturally get there. Feet. Let it come under. Good. Both feet. Feel the push. Accelerated drive. Okay, breathe it in. Open the mouth. Relax the face. It's all about relaxation from here on. Okay. Moving up. Now, hands, get them away. Around the back. Remember, almost think about finishing front of the body. Right there. Good. Okay, breathe. Feel that compression. Try and get the length. It will be shorter. Momentum around the back. And breathe. Here we go. Open the mouth. Relax the face. Nice. Okay. Only got like 35 strokes to go. Let's go. Now, up 2. Hands away. Get them out. Good. Accelerate the legs. Push them down. That's it. Nice. Keep them moving. 17 strokes. Count them down. Here we go. Body swing. Off the legs. Hang it long. Good. That's it. All the way. Nice. Don't stop. Don't stop, whatever you do. Okay. Really good. Okay, really great. I feel we worked up to that really well. And hopefully you're able to stay as loose as possible and really put some good effort and intent behind that, okay? I've got to breathe it in myself. Heart rate got up quite well at the end there too. Really good. Okay, so great workout. We're going to row this out for a few minutes. In the next sort of 10-15 seconds, just hit your menu button a couple of times, okay? That'll save things into the memory bank. We can spend another minute or so just moving up and down. Don't have to put a lot of pressure behind the handle. We're just trying to kickstart this recovery by getting some oxygen in, getting it flowing, okay? Getting it back around to the muscles that have just been producing a little bit too much lactic acid, okay? But really good, okay? Really solid row. Pieces weren't too long, okay? When you look back on it, you're like, well, actually it seemed to go pretty fast. because ultimately we're just spending a little bit of time focusing each piece, focusing the rating, focusing the rhythm. Then we change up, then we have a break, then we do it again, okay? So it really gives you a chance to switch on, switch off, stay switched on, okay, which tends to be really good in development when you need to do pieces, that sort of stuff. It is quite difficult sometimes, longer pieces, if you're doing pyramids, that type of work, it's pretty good, okay, and they do have their place. And ultimately, I do a lot of stuff like that myself, but I really find that when we're doing pieces here together, we're better off to be getting more coaching, more changes, so we get to feel more things, so we talk about more things, rather than spending so much time at different pieces, okay? Hence why, as I said at the start, I tend to limit the length, but also just varying what we do from intense stuff to good training pace, okay? Really good mixture of work. So, this is the last part of the warm down now. Let's just start adding a little bit of weight behind our handle. Okay, so this is what we call active recovery. Normally we just think we just sit there and spin the legs over. Okay, but we actually want to try and put a little bit of weight on the muscles. So a little bit of pressure. Give you an idea, I'm sitting at 250 splits. Okay, I'll probably push it down a little bit more. But the idea is just to allow the muscles to open up, ask for a bit more oxygen, and we're putting fresh, nice oxygenated red blood cells back in, pushing out any lactic acid, okay? We do this for another half a minute, we should be good, okay? It really depends on warm down, how you feel, how hard you went, okay, how you feel right now. Are you still feeling sore in the muscles? Is your heart rate still reasonably high? Okay, because trust me, recovery, a lot of people just don't do enough recovery. Even if you're doing short, sharp pieces, recovery is some of the most crucial parts of any training program, whether that be rowing, cycling, running, weights, you name it. Recovery aspect is massive. Okay, it's also very individualized. People that love doing a bit of Pilates, yoga for their flexibility, stretching, TRX, really good. Okay, it's really just getting ourselves into a position that when we finish, the muscles have already started to activate their recovery rather than just sitting there pulling, okay, and thinking about what they've just done. Okay, we're just getting straight back into the zone, ready to get ourselves fresh, recovered, so that we can do it all again tomorrow. Okay, and we all know, we've all been there. You know, you do a hard session, you don't eat, you get hangry, you get grumpy, you get tired, take it out on the kids. Don't take it out on the wife. You know, and it's a simple fact that I think a lot of, once you start doing more and more, recovery becomes more and more important. When we first start out, and we're all culprits for it, even now, I can be a culprit. You're restricted by time, okay? But when we do have time, just remember, get as much into you as you can, do it well. I'm not really puffing anymore. My heart rate's back down to 100. So I know that I'm in a good place for myself, but other people might not be, okay? And that's why it's very, very time and individual dependent on what you've done, okay? Because the fitter you are, the easier you'll probably find it. But if you do more high intense pieces, doesn't matter if you're fit or not, you're still going to have to do that good amount of time. Okay, so great session, team. Really good. I was hoping to just focus, do a lot of talking. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. We can talk about it a little bit now if we need to, when we turned on the force curve. Okay, I've spoken about it with a few people, talked about it a couple of times. I use it probably every second day just to have a look for part of my pieces. Okay, because ultimately, when you turn on that force curve, this is what we want to see. Okay, we want to see a hemisphere. Now, we could draw a graph. Hang on, let me draw a graph. I don't know if I'll be able to get this off. I need to get some. Okay, here we go. That's it. Okay, so we've talked about it before in terms of like our watts and our peak. Okay, now ideally we want something that looks like that. Okay, so what that means is you're getting it on. I've got that there. Okay, you're getting it on. This part here is basically halfway through the drive when your legs are on, the back swinging through that 12 o'clock position, boom. Okay, now if your force curve looks a little bit like this, means that we're probably lifting off the front. We're using a little bit too much of our body here, okay? And then ultimately, if it looks a little bit like that, then we're driving through and then we're creating the body. So we're just a little bit behind with where our legs are coming in, okay? Now, this is theoretical. I can get it to look like that every, like bits and pieces. It doesn't look like that all the time. And this is why when we use tools like this, if you're watching it every stroke and one stroke looks like that, one stroke looks like that, one stroke looks like that, now we've got a jagged line here and a jagged line there. You're too focused on the line rather than this, what we're doing. So if you watch 2 or 3 minutes and you think, actually, I look more here than I do this, okay, I need to think about what I'm doing off the catch and work on that for a day or two, then go back and switch it on for a few minutes. Okay, because if you keep focusing on it stroke to stroke, if one stroke looks like that, you're like, oh, I'm too low lifting. But then the next stroke looks like that. You're jumping between these two and you're not really focusing on your rhythm. You're focusing on that. Okay, but that is an excellent tool to really help with that momentum, okay, and that shape of what we're trying to achieve. Better not use that side. I'll have blue all over my face. Okay, so we've sort of spoken about it before, but probably not a lot. So I was just thinking, you know what, today we might chuck it out there and just really see what happens with it, see what people think about. Okay, I'm just going to get some, where's our live chat? There we are. There's our live chat. Okay, so I'll see if there's any questions around that. Any chance of a video of a few force curves? I could do. I'd have to get somebody to film it, but I think, Neil, I've sort of explained it there a little bit because honestly, my force curve, your force curve, who else have we got here? Ronnie, Sonia, all of them, they're all going to be different because it depends on your height, depends on your experience, it depends on your physiology as well. And it just depends on, like, it basically is technique. And there's nothing to say that this is actually wrong in any way or that that's wrong in any way because it's not to a degree. All I'm saying is that theoretically, through the physics and everything else, this is the best potential, okay? Now, this could be 130 split at max power. This could be 129. 131. Might not be too much difference. But if you want to get theoretically like PBs, we've got to start trying to push it closer and closer to that as possible because that's really the physics and stuff behind it, that's where it's at, okay? So that's why. So hopefully that sort of answers your thing, Neil, about, like taking photos of mine. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, that's what Eric does. Doesn't look like what I do. Okay, and so it's really just about people finding out their own curve and using it because ultimately we can send videos to people. You know, I enjoy coaching. We're doing quite a lot with the asensei stuff, which is really awesome. That's cool. Okay, I can see different bits and pieces and I can try and explain it. But a lot of times what you need to be doing is say, like, if you can, is record yourself, watch it, okay? Then start looking at it. It's really easy. Set your phone up, record yourself for 10 minutes. do some different ratings, and then go, okay, I can see what Eric talks about when he says come onto the feet and don't use the shoulders, or I can see the hang or the feet going out from underneath, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, I'm going to work on that. Biggest thing about change is that I feel that we want to take snapshots, work on it, then go back. If we try and work on it every single stroke, every single time, I think we're just going to get too hung up. Okay, and the same thing, if you've got a mirror, sit there and watch yourself row in the mirror for a while, okay? But don't keep looking at yourself in the mirror every day, every single day, because it will just be a complete mind boggle. Trying to just watch and go, oh no, I'm not getting it. Where I've always said, and I've said it to you guys so much, it's really, really easy to learn something new. It's really, really hard to break the old habits. Okay, and so it's always thinking about what we're trying to work on. And change takes time. It doesn't, like, full change takes time. Okay, short change takes one stroke. Long-term change takes a long time. Okay, and that's really what it comes down to. Mark, I hit my max heart rate in the last piece without managing to hit high rates. Is that just no, Mark? Okay, so answer that question. Because we've built, because we've done it off, a lot of people don't realize that to hit your max heart rate, or to find your max heart rate, basically, you want to really build through an aerobic zone right up, and then you start getting into your anaerobic. Okay, so I'm going to draw another graph. I'm feeling like a graph day. Okay, so we have heart rate and we have time. Okay, and in here as well, we've sort of potentially, this is sort of heart rate and like stroke rate are quite in a relationship. Okay, so you basically do this, you'll do this, and then you'll just peter off like that. Okay, and this is your max. Now, if you just go straight into straight into, like, say 30 strokes a minute here, your heart rate's probably not actually going to get that high because you're in an anaerobic zone. Whereas what you've done through here is this is your aerobic zone. Okay, and then once you start getting up here, that's your anaerobic. Okay, so ideally, if we go through this, the heart rate's pumping, trying to stay as aerobic as possible until you get up into here. When you just kick it straight off like 1 minute pieces, I guarantee you won't hit max heart rate. You probably won't get anywhere near it because the energy system in your body goes straight into anaerobic. You basically just start burning lactate, to like lactic acid, straight away, rather than using the oxygen in your blood to help. Okay, and that's the difference between anaerobic and aerobic. So you probably will, like I was up about 195, but feeling comfortable at the same time. And that's the idea, is that you'll always hit a higher heart rate building through like what we just did, rather than just going straight into it. And to give you an example, like that there, okay, different, but in trainings, I could easily go well into the 190s, close to 200s, and doing good training sessions. When I'm out in a race and I was out on the water, I would quite often not get it over about 185, 180, because you're going max, but you're in a completely different energy system. So if you want, study up a bit on anaerobic, aerobic stuff, but that's just a really quick example of it. Ronnie, 14-year-old, rose Dublin State Championship 2 weeks. He wants to row in the Olympics like you. Any advice? Ronnie, Jeremy, have fun. Build through it. Okay, you're pretty young. Don't take it too seriously yet. Okay, just keep improving. You'll improve really good sometimes, and then it will stagnate. Might even feel like it goes backwards a little bit, but just keep improving. Have fun, enjoy it, spend some time. And it takes quite a lot to get into that Olympics. So look at the people in front of you, admire them, work hard. One day you can be them. Okay, choice. Still couldn't get to and hold 36. Not seen the graph before. Good to know. Thanks, Sonia. Neil, thanks. Yep, cool. Neil, self-recording is a good tip. Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Gleasonita, nice name. Thanks. Cheers. Okay, thanks, team. I will say we're not here next week. Sorry, team. Okay, it's Easter Monday here in New Zealand. I'm actually going away, and because it's public holiday, you guys will be Easter Sunday. So apologies for that. You'll just have to go back and find another thing. Otherwise, we'll be back at this time in 2 weeks. If I could do one early on that Monday, I won't, because I'm going to be in Christchurch, potentially flying back. So haven't been away for a long time. So really looking forward to it. Awesome. Okay, but thanks a lot, team. Really good work. Awesome that you were here. Awesome to be involved. Remember, keep following Ministry of Health or whoever instructions. Yes, we're getting COVID vaccine rollouts. Awesome. Remember, stay safe, social distance, wear a mask, all the bits and pieces to make sure we all stay healthy. Last thing we want happening is getting very, very sick or dying. Okay, and we know that that's what's been happening. So from us and the Asensei team, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, just keep up with your training, learn about yourselves, keep focused on different things you're doing. There's plenty coming, okay, and I'm really enjoying bringing it to you. So all the best. Thanks, team, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.